that one was the one, but it was for the wrong. It had the wrong result. It made him a very, very dangerous man, and you know, you could see how intense he was on wanting to go out there, and even when he was throwing in early in the fight, when he was throwing counter punches, I've never seen him throw with that kind of, like Mike Tyson used to say, bad intent.
Any kind of success or any kind of result, especially after that performance. Usyk's getting better and better. He just improves every time he fights, and now he's bigger and thicker set, 20 pound heavier tonight than what he was when he beat.
Recent training footage shows Usyk in top form. His unique methods boost his awareness to the point where he seems to anticipate every move. His motion is sharp, controlled, and focused. This rare style makes him incredibly hard to hit and even harder to figure out in the Many questioned whether Usyk could hold his ground against younger, stronger heavyweights. Entering the rematch with Daniel Dubois, he faced intense scrutiny. But instead of faltering, Usyk delivered a masterclass. His timing, footwork, and calm under pressure stood out from start to finish. As Russ Somber noted, Usyk had a point to prove, and he did just that. He controlled the tempo, outmaneuvered Dubois with precision, and reminded everyone why he's still among the heavyweight elite. This wasn't just a win, it was a clear statement.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised because I had never seen him so intent on wanting to knock somebody out. You know, like it's the quickest knockout he scored, I think, in his professional career.
Yes,
I'd
even
have
at
to look
cruiserweight.
Yeah, I'd have to look to be sure, but you know, it's the quickest knockout he scored. He was a man on a mission.
Yeah.
He was really personally hurt and offended by the remarks made by Team Dubois.
Yeah.
By George Fox, Don Charles' son. By Don himself, questioned. I think the straw that broke the camel's back was questioning Usyk's faith.
Yes.
Now you could question a lot. You can question his skill, question boxing, or whatever you want. Questioning his faith, bro.
Yeah.
That was something that really hit a chord, and you don't often, you know, Tyson Fury couldn't get to
no, he tried
Usyk
every head
mentally,
game in the book.
But that one was the one, but it was for the wrong. It had the wrong result. It made him a very, very dangerous man, and you know, you could see how intense he was on wanting to go out there, and even when he was throwing in early in the fight, when he was throwing counter punches, I've never seen him throw with that kind of, like Mike Tyson used to say, bad intentions.
Yeah, bad intentions, yeah.
He was throwing with bad intentions, yeah.
Usyk's legacy goes far beyond the ring. At the height of his career, he made the courageous choice to serve his country when war broke out in Ukraine. While many sought safety, he stepped up for his homeland. This act earned him deep respect and showed that he's not just a champion in sport, but in character. Once overlooked by some British fighters and fans, Usyk is now recognized worldwide as a once-in-a-generation talent. He never asked for respect. He earned it through action, determination, and heart.
Usyk's involvement in the war began when he enlisted in the Ukrainian Territorial Defense Forces after the Russian invasion. His decision to fight for Ukraine has had a profound impact on the country, making him a symbol of hope and resistance. Usyk's presence on the front lines has boosted the morale of the Ukrainian military and civilian population alike. So this man kept his heavyweight championship, continued to be heavyweight champion, no losses, nothing on his record, and still went and defended his country during war. Given that, you gotta give him the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time. His accolades inside the ring match it. But now that I find this out, that the man was in the front line, and they said that even after the Fury fight, he was keeping in contact with the soldiers, and he was, you know, boosting the morale and boosting his countrymen and raising money for the war. Regardless of the politics, whether the war should be going on or not and who should be killing who, it don't matter. The man went to war.
Carl Froch has openly acknowledged Usyk's steady rise to dominance. With each fight, Usyk becomes more refined, physically stronger, and tactically sharper. Froch pointed out that Joseph Parker likely wouldn't pose a serious threat, especially when measured against the level Usyk brings. He even suggested that Usyk might consider retirement soon, having already conquered multiple divisions, defended his titles, and cemented his place as the best of his era. A bout with someone like Moses, Froch noted, would add little to his legacy. It's a view many share. Usyk has nothing left to prove
tonight than what he was when he beat Fury, which I said earlier. He just looks like a big, solid heavyweight, big, solid, dangerous heavyweight, but I'd like to see him retire. He's 38 years old. Eventually, it's going to catch up with him, the age, and there's nothing left to do. He's made an absolute fortune, and he don't need it anymore. He's done it. He's clocked it. He's completed it. It's like he's got the cheat code, and it's like it's not fair on everybody else. So I'd like to see Usyk retire. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see him fight next. Somebody like Moses Atoma, I just don't think is going to be ready. I think if you're managing Moses, you need to take your time with him. You can't be chucking him in there. People say, yeah, chuck him in there with him, fight him, see how he goes. If he gets beat, he's lost to Usyk. But it could destroy his soul. It could take away that young, promising prospect that Atoma is. He could have a good future, and to fight somebody like Usyk now, if he got wiped out and got disheartened, it could be the end of his career. So I just think Usyk now, really, nobody can say anything to Usyk if he retires now after that win. He's done everything there is to do. Fury twice, AJ twice, now Dubois twice. There's nobody else left to beat. He's done it. Usyk should just hang the gloves up. He's been a fantastic addition to the heavyweight division since coming up from cruiserweight. He's been absolutely brilliant, and what he did tonight against Dubois was nothing short of just, it made it look easy. And I don't want to disrespect Daniel Dubois, but he just made it look easy, and he does make rounds look easy, doesn't he? Whoever is in with, whether he's in with Tyson Fury, whether he's in with AJ, he makes it look easy.
Joseph Parker's name continues to surface as a possible opponent for Usyk, but few see it as a serious challenge. Most view the matchup as one-sided due to the gap in skill and experience. Oladipo proposed a different idea, a rematch with Derek Chisora, not for competition, but for entertainment value. Chisora is known for turning every fight into a spectacle with his rugged style and larger-than-life persona. Still, from a purely competitive standpoint, neither Parker nor Chisora appears capable of testing Usyk in his current form.
Then, well, here it is. Here's your world title shot. You're going to fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the number one for the world title, and that guy is Oleksandr Usyk. So, yeah, there must be loads of conversations going on right now. Loads of conversations. I did say this the other day, and I don't know, sometimes I'm like, you know, when I was in the ring and I was interviewing Oleksandr Usyk, I was desperate because of my love for Joseph Parker. I was desperate for Joseph Parker to get, I know he got in the ring after, but I'm talking about on the zone. So whilst everyone is still in the stadium and everyone's still tuned in, I was desperate for him to kind of just jump in the ring. I was desperate for him to do it. Chisora was trying to do. So Chisora knows how to play the game. And as much as people are like, what's Chisora doing? Well, look, Chisora won't get the fight, but that's kind of what you got to do. And I know people are like, well, 1 second, it's not like that. It's ranking. Well, no, it's not though, is it? Because again, Oleksandr Usyk can vacate the belt. He can say no. You have to kind of do what Daniel Dubois did last time. Daniel Dubois, rightly or wrongly, got in the ring, pissed Usyk off. Usyk's like, okay, we'll fight then. Fuck it. If this is what you're doing, dude, we'll fight. And I felt like there was a time where I wanted Joseph Parker to almost nudge me. And I'm telling you now, you know, we're kind of told not to give the mic. I don't know if you see, I always hold on to the mic. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic. And I would like Joseph Parker because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side. And I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Sell it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot. But that's not what happened. And all of a sudden, you're seeing Jake Paul in the ring doing a face-off. You're seeing all these, and I'm like, where's Joseph Parker? Where are you, Joseph?
Interesting heavyweight division, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought of Usyk's performance, where he ranks on the all-time list. I know, you know, everybody was big into their nostalgia, But remember, Soviets were not turning pro until the 90s, and I think that makes a big difference. That's another thing. Heavyweights are bigger. Lefties are more common now, and also the Soviet era of fighters did not start turning pro until the 90s. So the old days, they didn't have to deal with those guys. So a lot of things that also favor Usyk being a GOAT. But of course, you know, man, it's hard to pick against Ali.
Usyk, what did you make of his display against Daniel Dubois last Saturday? It was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was, but it was nothing less than I expected, because if you make a guy quit with a jab, Spencer, you know this, if you make a guy quit with a jab, how is that guy ever going to beat you? You understand me? I mean, that's just what the real facts are. Not that the kid had got a little bit better. He got a little more confidence because he had a win over Joshua, which was good, but confidence is just not enough to beat a guy like Usyk. You got to have some technique. You got to have some grit. You can't lose him with a jab and think you're going to beat him. That's not going to work.
Well, you was a smaller guy that went up and won the world heavyweight title, one of the only ones to do that from middleweight up to heavyweight. You know, how does someone beat Oleksandr Usyk? Is it the smaller guy? Is it the guy that's coming up in the weight divisions, you know, as opposed to the bigger heavyweights?
No, the bigger guys could beat him, just got to have the right fight plan. None of these guys fight him with the right fight plan. And I'm not going to tell them the right fight plan because that's not my job to do. But you got to have the right fight plan to fight Usyk. If you don't have the right fight plan, you're going to destroy